it is me, Brian from Studios, and I'm back with a very special video, and this is a modification video on the set 75283, I believe. Yeah, that's the set number. The AAT, and I spent like the last hour-ish trying to fix this and make this a lot more accurate, because as good as the set was, it was pretty inaccurate in some areas, and I've decided to do everything in my power to make it as accurate as possible in the easiest way possible. And now the head is still very big. It's about 2 studs too wide, but there's nothing I could really do that'll make it very simple, because I'm not doing a tutorial, because it's difficult enough to, you know, put everything back on, to put the normal thing back on, and then, you know, it's just going to be very annoying to try to do. So I've made it somewhat simple. So first, the easiest thing that you can spot here is that I did not widen this. I did not extend this by the base of this by any part. I just pushed. Let's just put this up here. All right, so we're just gonna put the head over here. It's really annoying, and we're gonna lift these up. So what I did with the base here is I pushed this forward a stud, and there was a 1x1 plate here, and then this was backed up a stud, and I pushed both of these forward, and then I put this 1x2 dark blue tile right there. So that's what it looks like. And then I replaced the 1x1 with a 1x2, and once again I pushed this a bit forward, and I think it still looks good, in my opinion. And I really just think it looks a lot better and a bit more accurate, because there is some blue back here that is missing, and it just looks better. And then what I did for the turrets is I made the top one like this. I made this a longer one, the top one. I don't know why they had it the opposite way, because that's not how it's supposed to be. So that's what that looks like. It's not too difficult of a fix. Anybody could do that. You don't need any extra pieces for that. So the extra pieces you're going to need for at least this modification, if you want to just do this one, is a 1x2 in dark blue, and 2 1x2s in dark blue, and a 1x2 in light bluish gray, which are pretty easy to find. And now the biggest thing is the stripe that was absent from the set. And what I did is I made this very simple. And now you don't need a purple one of these. You just need you could use any color you want. But I just made it a bit easier, because I needed a smaller one. It was originally a 2x4 jumper, and I just made it a 1x2. Sorry, all these just popped out here. I have this. You could do this in any color, but it would be preferably blue, because if you were to look at this, you would still be able to see the color. And then you need one of these. You could either have this like half the size, and then just put 2 of them on here, or you could just do 1. It doesn't really matter. And then you need to have a 2x2 in dark blue. And then with this, you just put these on here like that. And of course, you would put the 1x1 here, which is in the set, of course. And you'll have an extra one because you don't need it at any point. And you put it like that. Also, with this, you're going to want this to be a gray 1x4, because once again, you're going to see this on the sides. And now this does look kind of awkward in this position, because there's like that little gap here. But it looks a lot better than not having the blue stripe at all, especially if you want it to be accurate. Now you could have you could take this section and put it here, but I don't think it'll look that good once we get up to the top, and that's exactly what it looks like, and I think it looks really nice. And now for this, sorry, this thing is very kind of loose once you don't have this on. You're gonna need you could have any color. I just have a dark bluish gray 1x2, and you put one of these slopes on it, and then you put it right here, locking these 3 plates together, and then you would get one of these. And you would just put this grill piece, which is included in the set, and put it on like that. Then, also to cover up this part here, because that is not accurate, there's supposed to be that blue stripe there, you get one of these and put them on like that. And now there is a bit of a gap, but and you could fix the gap if you were to make this a stud taller, but that wouldn't work, because the bottom of this would get in the way, and it wouldn't be able to rotate or even just be on here without it there being a legal technique. And then also with these things here, there was originally a tan 1x2, and I replaced them with dark blue. You could also do with dark bluish gray. It doesn't really matter. It just looks a lot better in my opinion, because the tan, I don't understand why they had the dark tan at all. And then I did the same with this piece back here. Now with the head, it's a bit more complicated. You can see what I did. I don't really like how low this part is compared to this, but it's not that bad. And then I do have these still in tan from the set. You could either just keep these, or you could remove them. I'm gonna change these out with like a dark bluish gray or a light bluish gray at some point. And then also you're gonna want a 1x2, two of these. So then you could replace the 1x3 with that, and then you're gonna have the 1x1. And I would say dark blue. I just have it in dark blue because I think it looks fine, but you could have it in almost any color because we covered up by this tile here, unless you were to look underneath it, which it doesn't really matter. And also with this, the only piece you're gonna need is this piece here, and you could have one in red. You would want to prefer black, because if you were to look at this, if you were to look here, there would be a red part here, because you could see that you could see through this, at least part of it. So preferably black, but you would just kind of you would remove these. There's two more of these pieces on there, and you just remove those. And then the assembly, you can kind of see how it is. You'd get a gray one of those, because you're gonna see it, and then you put that underneath. So fairly simple. A lot of people would have these kind of parts. And now with the head over here, I did a bit of modification. I added this 1x3 in dark blue, and not a lot of you would have it. You could also put a light bluish gray one, or just not include it at all. Because once I add this piece on there, it'll cover at least part of that up. Or you could always have, a random 1x2 here, and then have the blue 1x1, because blue 1x1s are pretty common, more so than a 1x3. So yeah, that's my AAT modification. This is very cool. It looks a lot nicer. It looks a lot more Clone Wars-esque. And now, if you're a purist and just want to keep your sets the way the way they are, that's completely fine. I think this is just a way for people to, make, if they're very, want to make everything super accurate, then you could do this. And I think I think it pays off. I really enjoy the way it looks, except for this little turret here thing here. And I don't know if I've said this in the beginning of the video, but the reason why I don't have a straight tutorial is because it'll take an extra 20 minutes to, for me to take all the pieces off and then put them back on, put different ones on. It'll just be a mess, and I'll forget about certain things, and then I'll forget how they're built and everything. It's just going to be a mess. So I went in as much detail as possible, so it's as easy as possible. It's super easy for you to figure out what you need. And now, once again, I'll go over the extra pieces. So you're going to need two of these 1x2s in tiles in light bluish gray, dark blue, and dark bluish gray. Then you're going to need this slope here, very easy to get. You're going to need two of those in light bluish gray and two of those in dark bluish gray. And then you're going to need three of these. You're going to need you're going to need five of those, five of these, preferably in dark blue, or at least you need three in dark blue. You could have one in dark gray, and then just one as any color. You're going to also need these in blue as well. You're going to need you're going to need a 1x2 jumper tile. Very easy to come by. 1x2 cheese slope. You could have 1x3s, but you'd have to back it up, and it'll just be kind of annoying. It'll include you'd have to have extra pieces, so I recommend just using these, and then a 1x1 of that, 1x2 wedge, slope wedge. It's very easy in least light bluish gray. And then you're going to either need four of those in dark bluish gray, not dark bluish gray, dark blue, or just one of these and two of the other type of piece. You're going to need a 1x4 in navy blue, and then you'll need a 2x2 tile in navy blue as well. And then you also need a 1x1 in dark blue. So that's the part list. I hope you guys all caught all that. I was just going off the top of my head here. So thank you all for watching. If you let me know if you did this, and if you did, look, go on Instagram and tag me in a post, and I'll be able to see what you guys did to your AATs, and I think it'll be really cool. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.